Decades of conflict had afflicted the United States and divided the North and South. Slavery was a controversy that sparked tension. Along with states' rights and westward expansion, this tension had brought on the Civil War in 1861. Lincoln was elected in 1860, which caused some southern states to secede and form the Confederate States of America.
The steps leading up to the murder of President Lincoln starts with a man named John Wilkes Booth. Booth came from a family of actors, which he then decided to follow in their footsteps. Along with acting, he was hired as a spy by the southern states and came up with a conspiracy plan to kidnap President Lincoln, Johnson, Grant, and Stanton. However, the plan did not carry out in this manner. Booth took matters into his own hands and conspired to kill the president and executed his plan on April 14, 1865, which led to his death the next day.
John Frederick Parker was an American police officer for the Metropolitan Police Department of the District of Columbia. Parker was one of 4 men detailed to act as United States President Abraham Lincoln's bodyguard. On April 14, 1865, President Lincoln, his wife Mary Todd Lincoln, Major Henry Rathbone, and his fiancée Claire Harris were attending the play Our American Cousin at Ford's Theater. Parker was assigned to guard the entrance to the president's box where the 4 were seated. He is known to have stayed at his assigned post, but he later told family members that he was then released by Lincoln until the end of the play. During the intermission, Parker went to a nearby tavern with Lincoln's footman and coachman. It is unclear whether Parker ever returned to the theater, but he was not at his post when John Wilkes Booth shot the president. Parker was charged with neglect of duty and tried on May 3, 1865, but no transcripts of the case were kept. The complaint was dismissed on June 2, 1865. In spite of leaving his post the night Lincoln was shot, Parker was assigned to work security at the White House. Before Mary Todd Lincoln moved out of the White House following her husband's death, Parker was assigned as her bodyguard. Miss Lincoln's dressmaker, Elizabeth Keckley, overheard Miss Lincoln yell to Parker, quote, "So you're on guard tonight? On guard in the White House after helping to murder the president?" End quote. Parker attempted to defend himself, stating that he, quote, "could never stoop to murder, much less to the murder of so good and great a man as the president. I did wrong, I admit, and I have bitterly repented." End quote. Miss Lincoln told Parker that she would always think he was responsible for the president's death and angrily dismissed him from the room.
Well, with all of the history laid out here for you before, we as a group decided to make a video in regards to our conspiracy theory history class to help better understand what exactly happened the night of April 14th, 1865.
I'm so excited for this play. Oh, I'm so happy we got the invite. Oh, I see them over there.
It's quite a lovely evening tonight.
Sure is.
Looks like our friends are over there waiting for us at the beginning.
We should go say hi.
We should.
Hello!
How's it going?
It's good.
Shall we go inside and see this wonderful play?
Yes! Thank you for the invite.
After you.
Oh, let's go, honey. 1, 2, 3. I'm so excited. Oh, this is going to be a lovely show, darling. It is. Oh, how'd you do, Mr. Lincoln? Enjoy the play. I'll be out here all night until it's over.
Hello, my fellow Americans.
Give me something stronger! Oh!
Otto Eichemel was an Austrian-born chemist that immigrated to the U.S. in 1903, where he began his quest in solving the Lincoln assassination. Otto was the type of man that was fascinated with history, especially with American history. Otto questioned the relevant facts about the Lincoln assassination, and for that, he dug deeper looking for more answers. In his book, Why Was Lincoln Murdered?, he suggests an alternative theory to why Lincoln was killed. Otto suggests that the main player in the Lincoln assassination was Edwin Stanton, the Secretary of War. Edwin Stanton has a long history with Lincoln as they both were lawyers growing up. Stanton was one of the least favorites of Lincoln's cabinet, but he had strong intentions of changing the shape of the Union after Lincoln's death. Eichemel offered proof of Stanton's involvement by stating, begin quote, Stanton had a motive. He was worried that Lincoln's moderate proposals for Southern Reconstruction will let the former Confederate states off too easily for the carnage they initiated, end quote. Stanton wanted to do more than just let the South off easy. And at the time of a nation in grief, they were wanting to put the blame on the South. Ironically, though, Stanton was a very powerful man. Stanton had potentially exaggeration of power over the control of the telegram lines the night of Lincoln's assassination, which Otto Eichemel's theory states. In Eichemel's book, he says Stanton closed all the bridges from the city except one, the Navy Yard Bridge, which Booth took as his escape route. Stanton also allegedly ordered that Union soldiers should kill Booth rather than arrest him. So to cover up the theory, Stanton had the power to control over everybody and allowed them to hide the actual truth behind Lincoln's assassination. And for further, investigators noted that there was 15 pages from Booth's diary deliberately ripped out by Stanton. Now, not knowing exactly what was in those diaries leads to speculation that there was more involvement known than what was actually portrayed by primary sources. So with that, there comes another claim that Otto Eichemel talked about. Otto was concerned that Ulysses S. Grant had an involvement also because he turned down his invitation to Fort Caesar that night when Lincoln was assassinated. Now, Ulysses S. Grant said his wife was sick, which may or may not have been, but how could you turn down an offer from the President of the United States after winning the Civil War? That's where Otto was going with this. Now, President Lincoln was a noble man and very respectable man, so how could one turn down the offer to spend the night with him at a theater that he loved going to? That is what Otto Eichemel was trying to get down. So the real question is, was this the biggest hoax in U.S. history to cover up that we actually killed our own president? Or was it actually that this was planned out by Booth himself and it was solely actor for this?
Hello, thank you for your time and watching our video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Well, I hope, oh, mother. Hello, thank you for watching our video. My name is Bianca.
I'm Fabian.
I'm Savannah.
I'm Maleka.
And Tim.
We
to
wish
go.
he was here, but thank you again for watching it. I hope you all enjoyed it half as much as we enjoyed making this video. I hope you have a better understanding of everything that went down that night. If you have any comments or any questions, please let us know below and hit the thumbs up because we
Subscribe.
rocked it. And thank you again for your time. Have a good night.